Hey guys, this is your host Gooby, and welcome to the Toon Balloon podcast, our outlet to discuss, theorize, and enjoy our favorite webtoons with the occasional anime and manga sprinkled in between. In today's episode, my co-hosts Bee and Panda will be joining me on an in-depth discussion of episode 93 of the Remarried Empress. I am so thrilled to finally jump back into this beloved series of mine. Yes, it infuriates me among many of my peers, but it has been a journey and I am ready to see my queen thrive. Now, I normally leave links in the description box below, kind of letting you know where you can go and support the creators of the series, but for this series in particular, I have a difficult time finding resources and other ways to reach out to them, or Patreons of any sort. I don't know if it's just because it's more of a Korean base that I'm not able to locate them as easily. And if any of you are able to find any sort of supportive resources, please reach out to me and let me know so that way I can make sure to include them in the description box below so that way more people can find them and support their favorite creators out there. Subscribe to the Webtoon series, and if you really enjoy them, then I guess seek out the web novel as well, because that is another way to support Alphatart and Sumpul. So without further ado, I would like to make sure I warn all of you that there will be spoilers. So you have been warned. Now, let's talk The Remarried Empress, episode 93 by Alphatart and Sumpul. All right, guys. So we are going to do an in-depth discussion of The Remarried Empress, episode 93, season 2, with my co-hosts, Bee and Panda.
Hello.
Hello. So it's been a bit since we've gotten a chance to talk about The Remarried Empress. And now that Bee has been caught up on it, we can all have a discussion on the series because it's insane. And we're at some really juicy parts in the comic.
Can I talk about the juiciest part?
Yes, you may.
As you already know, guys, I'm Panda, the simpiest simp of them all. This definitely was my favorite chapter ever in the whole world because you know what? We saw my king, Heinrich, in all his glory. All right, go check it out, guys.
You were the simpiest of simpiest.
Water.
Like the simpiest
water,
simp that's ever
hair,
simped.
face, jawline, naked.
I have expected when I read this scene, I thought that Panda was gonna have like a stroke. And she's
I did have
this image.
I have it pulled up right now on my iPad on a big screen, and I'm staring at it as I'm in this, podcast, just to, give me, I don't even know. But it's pulled up, guys. I wish you could see it.
Our Empress does the same thing though, because after you see him, and then you see him a second time, you see just the side of her face and just this eye of, oh my.
That's me. That is me. I agree with the queen.
Like just a little bit of what navier is kind of deal, like her emotionally like tumbling in her head right now. She's like, what do I do? Do I stay mad at him because he was here being a bird and letting me do things with him?
Hear me out. If I saw this,
she straight
I would
up
never
does
be mad.
not
I would
care.
be happy. I'd be the happiest woman in the world. I'd be like, all right, bet.
So the author shows us that she doesn't care because after you see this buildup of, oh my gosh, then all you see is just close up on chest. And then again, in an even sexier pose, you see him with the hair flip. And I'm like, okay, maybe I'm simping too.
Okay. I just want to switch my camera so you guys can admire the beauty that I'm staring at right now.
You don't think that one looks better?
Oh, the one where like front face. I mean,
yeah, with the hair swoop.
Wait, where? This one?
No. Go down.
To this one?
No.
Down?
Look at me. Down. Keep going.
Oh,
There you go.
Wait,
Look at him.
wait.
Look at him.
Yo, that is a beautiful.
That is the picture of perfection. Ah!
I just want to say, I'm married. His name is Heinrich. I'm blessed.
Now
This
we're
is my
all
husband.
married. Welcome to the club.
You guys are definitely married, just not to Heinrich.
Yeah. We need to get to
Cool.
like a cardboard cutout of just that image for you. Right there.
Please.
Oh
I
my
almost
gosh.
choked on my boba just right now. Please.
Guys. Our Gabby and I Gooby and I, our husbands work overnight sometimes. We can print this picture out and stick it on the pillow. Have them come home.
Listen, I live alone. I have posters of hot men. Now I just need a cutout of Heinrich.
There we go.
I don't need anyone else.
You know what? Screw it. For Valentine's Day, I'm going to make you a body pillow shaped like this.
Say less. Oh my god.
I would be so impressed if you can do that. I would need pictures and proof of this
Do you see me?
exchange.
My heart is racing. I can't do this. Body pillow Heinrich. Oh my god. I'm such a simp. Such a simp.
This whole scene is done so well because I remember, for those of you who don't know, Panda did read a little bit of the web novel, and I think we might have mentioned this in the last conversation we had of the series.
Yeah.
And I remember she kind of hinted at it towards me that this is kind of how the exchange happens. And then when I saw the birds and the pool of water, I was like, it's gonna happen. This is it.
Yep. This was the moment that I have been hinting at for the last few episodes of the podcast. This moment, and I got to enjoy it today with the image, and it's beautiful. I love it.
I think what's so funny on this episode is after we see these images and we're just like, oh my gravy, we've known this, but wow, now we know this, you have these cute little comics of she's just like, I've been doing all these things and he's been naked. And
I also like the fact that she's not even mad. She's just like, I should be mad, but I'm not mad.
She can't be.
How can you be?
I
when
love
you see
the
that?
little tiny comic of her and her kissing the bird chest. I'm just like, oh my goodness.
Can you see that part after she imagines Heinrich and like all these roses and like just really romanticized her? Like she is simping so hard for this man. And now she's like tossing and turning in her bed. Like, I don't know what to do. And it's just,
that's me.
It's so cute.
Really me. Okay, this sounds shallow, I guess, because I've been simping for this man. But like, listen, it's not just about the looks. He's just the best. He's sweet, respectful, loving, caring, adorable. And on top of that, he got this body. Girl. Man of my dreams.
I think it's so cute that she's got like such a new side of her because she's with this man, because I'm here enjoy watching her getting all flustered and everything. It's so cute because most of the beginning of the series, she's just here being so stoic and kind of down because she's got like such a crappy husband for the whole part. And now she's got a man.
Also, after, he transforms from bird to man, she's just there behind that tree checking him out. And the next frame, it's like, we're seeing his feet from like the front angle. So the girl is shook staring at his booty right now. She's checking him out.
That's so right, dude. She's just straight up like booty.
And then the frame, okay, she's just saying, she's thinking, how is it humanly possible to get that kind of body? Girl. She meant booty. She meant booty, but she said body. You and I both are questioning this.
She's so shook. Was she ever this shook with Sobieshu?
Never. She always looked bored. And I love seeing the interactions between her and Heinrich because we see all these other sides of her. We see all these facial expressions, emotions that she never has with Sobieshu. With Sobieshu, it's always like sadness or anger, or just she has like this tough, cold outer shell, but she never really shows what she's really feeling. Because I feel like she doesn't allow herself to, because she doesn't want to be weak for him. or whatever, because he literally makes her feel like trash. But I love seeing her interactions with Henry because she's just so herself, you know? I can relate to that, you know, to some degree. I got some cool ass friends now, and you know.
I agree with everything that you're saying, and I love how she interacts with the two so differently. When it comes to Silva Shu, they talked about how they were married out of convenience, that she had to uphold this view and the idea that she comes from a noble family and this and that and the other. It was never we are meant to be. It was when they were children, but now that it's actually that time, you're not seeing any of that. None of the, oh, we're so magically in love. It's her reminiscing in the past, which means that homeboy gotta go. And guess what? Now we got this bird, and he's just like, I love you. And I'm going to show you that you were it.
Exactly, and I love that. So I do feel like she does care about Sylvia Shu like a lot because again, they did grow up together. Maybe
Yeah.
she's just too used to him. Maybe that's what it is. But she definitely did love the guy to a certain extent, I believe. I want to say because otherwise there's no reason for her to be that hurt over it. But like the man treated her like garbage, and you know he's realizing this all so late. Like later in the chapter, he's all like, "Oh, she crossed the line. I'm gonna be petty. I'm gonna show her this and that. You know, how can she do this to me? How can she go off and marry someone else?" It's like, man, dude, you literally impregnated another woman. You have a mistress. Then you planned to make her your queen or empress and kick Navier out, excuse me, and then you treat her family like trash. And then we have our king, Heinrich. The man respects her family so much, like not just her, but her family, her brother.
Oh my gosh, yes.
And I love that so much because it says a lot about his character. And like the reason why her brother, I feel like, acts so crazy sometimes is because they don't get the same energy back from Sylvia Shu, but with Heinrich, he's so different. Even him, he's like respectful, kind, friendly, because he gets that back from him, you know? And how can you pick Sylvia Shu over Heinrich anyways? There's gonna be so much drama with these two, I believe, I think, but like, I don't want there to be drama. I just want there to be cute romance and
so I guess
Navier
I misworded
falling in
myself.
love.
Yes, I do believe that Navier loves Silva Shu. I have no question of that. But it's extremely clear that he does not deserve her, and that the love was not a two-way street. And if your relationship is not like that, it's not a true relationship. It is a chasing game, which is not okay.
Okay, so going on that, I don't think that it's that he doesn't love her. He's just toxic. He's just super, super toxic. He wants all the attention and he wants more. But then again, I don't think he's like in love with her. I don't know. It's just complicated. I feel like he's also kind of using her as well because of her noble status as well.
I think he finds her convenient.
Convenient, yeah. And I know that they used to be friends before, but he just, I don't know, he just grew up and became.
I would say that he likes her. He cares about her. There's no love in that because if you were in love with her, I'm not going to find this other girl.
True.
And if he loved her as a friend, he wouldn't have belittled her and made all these accusations. You don't yell and scream at a friend and not listen to their side of it. You don't make them an enemy if you
You're
love
not
them.
wrong. But like going back to the beginning of the webtoon, he compares Trash to Navier a lot. Like he's all like, Navier doesn't pay attention to me as much like before, and you know this girl only thinks about me. And honestly, what I think it is, he's not even in love with Trashta either. He just likes the attention. Mm-hmm. He just likes the attention. Douchebag. Oh yeah, definitely. Like I think all he wants really is woman character, whatever, to be obsessed with him and have only eyes for him and like, oh, so issue, only you, blah blah blah. And he knows that Navier has so much more potential than him, and she deserves way better than he. And that's why he gets so jealous when everyone shows up to the palace.
I can
all the time.
agree, but not completely. I think, yes, he wants that attention and he wants somebody to like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you did all this. You do so much for me. I appreciate it. But he doesn't give that effort.
Oh, yeah, he doesn't. He wants people to put an effort for him, but he won't do the same for them.
Navier, if she's a very, I would love her as a ruler. Like, I think she's wonderful. She's realistic. She's very logical. She's fair. She tries to think everything out. So if he was pulling up, like if he's holding his bargain, she would totally be like, oh my gosh, thank you. That was so wonderful. You're doing a good job. But if you're not putting forth effort, she can't have anything to compliment.
True.
How can I say thank you if you didn't do anything?
Sylvia shit drives me nuts.
He does. I hate him with a burning passion. And I know hate is a strong word, but I hate this man. I hate him.
I don't know if it just drives me crazier because although like the idea of having a mistress is quite normalized in their empire.
In like
an
this
empire.
In this like
in this world, it's normal.
In this world, yeah.
Yeah, it's normal. Well, at least for some of the
it's not really I was gonna say it's not really that normal because even with I can't remember his name right now. Whatever. The other guy, the one that gave her the love potion, even he was a mistress.
Kaufman.
What in the world?
Yeah.
Kaufman.
It starts with a K. I know it's
Kaufman. Yeah. So even he was all like, "Why is there a mistress?" And then Heinrich's like, "Why is there a mistress?" Everyone's like, "Why is there a mistress when there's an empress?" So it's only for their empire, whatever, that it's normalized, and I think that's so stupid.
Well,
I mean, you do you, I guess.
It was normal for a mistress. It's not normal for one to be treated like an empress.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, true.
That was the thing, because he was like, if there's a mistress, she is to be hidden. No one is to know about it. Like you cover your sins. Mm-hmm. And this boy is all like, "Yo, I got a hoe!" And it's like,
literally, like, why would you want everyone to know you got a hoe, bro? That's wild. Especially when you have an empress like Navier, like, yeah, I got a hoe, yay.
And she was gonna be cool with it. She was like, okay, I get it. Other people have had mistresses, it's cool. And then he stepped out of line even more. He wasn't following the things. He was like, okay, we're gonna bring it forward. He even freaking got this girl a gift and said it was from Navier. When Navier was like, yo, it wasn't from me, he was like, I can't believe you belittled her like that. Do you not realize the disrespect you just gave from your wife?
You're doing too much. Also, going back to the chapter, the frame where we see Sylvia Shoe for the first time totally killed my mood, first of all. But he looks so like evil and like terrifying, like the true Sylvia Shoe was coming out. He's being such a brat just because he's not getting what he wanted. He's literally
like honestly.
He looks crazy. Like he's like, Navier is what? The queen of the Western Kingdom? And he's like losing his mind. He's like screaming and like he literally looks like he's about to lose it and he's just psycho. And he's just over here saying like, I know she's mad, but like, how could she do this? Like, dude, I don't understand how you can be such a hypocrite. You did so much worse. And he's just like trying to defame her at this point. Like, he's like, I wish I didn't burn this letter she had. It was probably a code that I could out her. And like, he's losing his mind.
I feel so bad for their empire because they got this like pathetic excuse for a king, and all he can do is be petty and not be like consistent as a ruler. He's just
do like his like.
No, he doesn't, because Navier did it all.
That's
Navier
what I'm saying.
all
like,
of it.
Does he even do anything for the empire? He just, because all I've seen ever since Navier left is him in his office being petty and crying about how Navier left him. And everyone else is just like, what is wrong with this man?
Exactly.
Oh my gosh.
Even like his like the orange haired guy, I can't remember his name right now, but he's like right hand man. It's just like, dude, you got issues.
You gotta
I'm
move
like looking
on,
through
bro.
yeah, he's like, move on. You literally got a whole another wife. You got a whole another empress. Like, and he's over here slamming the table. I'm like looking at it. He's like slamming the table. Navier has been my wife since we were young. She's not simply a lover who can break up with me due to a change in circumstance. Like, what? Yes, she can break up with you, bro. You broke up with her too. Like, I don't get it.
And he's
You're
like, she
throwing a
was my
fit for
wife
what?
who promised to stay with me until death do us part. Where was your
And I'm
part
like,
in that vow?
exactly.
Like,
He's the one that divorced her.
like that. He's stupid.
Yeah, he's the one that wanted the divorce. All she did was ask to be remarried. So who really broke up the relationship, my man? Who really did it?
Can I just say that how disappointing this wedding photo looks? Like, it's just like this, not even smiling couple. Like, honestly, Navier and Sovishu and that.
He's smiling because he got a body, but she's just there. She's like, oh, this man, really?
It's for my kingdom,
But
she's
still,
probably thinking.
probably.
This author
She's
is going to hear us, and next thing you know, we're gonna get just a panel of him dipping her with the elegant our queen.
Look,
Magnificent.
but okay, even in this wedding photo, she looks amazing.
Mhm.
She never looks less than amazing.
No,
Ever.
never.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Ever. Like, she might not be happy, but she looks amazing.
She knows that she's freaking beautiful by all
Mhm.
means. And I'm just like, okay, this photo, but imagine a Heinrich and Navier wedding photo. How glorious
dude.
she's gonna look in that.
Okay, guys, so like, again, you know, I read the novel, so like, I'm kind of in that part, and I just cannot wait to see the actual art because I have like the wording. I just imagined it. It's so beautiful in my head, and I just know that the artist, the author, they're just gonna do an immaculate job with it, especially after saying Heinrich in human form after bird form. I know it's gonna be immaculate. And so, guys, stuff is gonna happen. Let me just say that stuff is gonna happen. I don't know if I should say anything, but I guess this is like just a hint. Stuff is about to go down during the wedding time.
Yeah.
Oh
Down.
my gosh.
Oh gosh. Okay.
Speaking of down, let's drop all of our standards and look at Trasha over here. Freaking
Listen,
I'm dying.
So you're talking about how much you hate Silvershoe, and I was like, okay, we're gonna get lower in the episode, and we're gonna see the real picture of hatred.
No, for real. You know what I've realized? This chapter went from, you know, high standards, bad, like lower your standards to absolutely no standards, like perfectly. That's why the chapter ended with trash, because, you know, no, that's trash, bro. Like, it's at the bottom because that's where it belongs.
Like, we're not allowed to feel peace in this series. Like, there is no peace. Like,
okay.
This just shows the relationship differences. Like, you started with the simp and the love and the oh my goodness, what's going on, and the joy, and it really builds it up that you want to love Henny and oh my gosh, I'm trying to combine their names together.
Oh, okay.
And it's not working. I don't know what their ship
or I don't know how to do their ship name.
Henvar. Yeah, we'll roll with it. But you already love it. Like, you see the character development, and it's so peaceful. And then you just go to this buildup of ew, and it really makes you not like Silvershoe and Trasha. It's a really good comparison of them.
You're so right about that, because I know I felt like a pit in my stomach when I was like, when when I saw the panel of him, I was like, oh man, there goes my day.
Literally. I'm like looking at another frame, like after the whole like wedding stuff, he's just there. It's zoomed into his like eyes and he just looks like he's gonna go freaking crazy. I'm going to make her regret it. Like, dude, if you ever loved her, let her be happy. But this just proves B's point. There is no love in this. Like I wanted to believe that he at least cared for her a little bit, but this just shows he does not give two craps about her as a friend, as a lover, as I don't know, a king, emperor. Like, dude, what are you doing? I'm going to make her regret it. That's what you're gonna say. You're an emperor. Take care of your empire. Take care of your new empress and your soon to be born child. Why are you going to be so petty and do all this?
I feel like he's super possessive of her. And also, I feel like he just finds her like a trophy piece. Like he keeps collecting women, and that's his only standard. It's just like, well, there they are. And then when they even like go and like draw their attention to anything else, he just gets super jealous because of that. Because he knows he's so low of a standard, as we have seen in this chapter, and that he's such a nutcase that
he really is. Like, and he just gets worse and worse throughout the whole chapter. And like he's all saying, like, just to be even more petty, he's like, we can't have the wedding when Trash is like really heavily pregnant. We got to make it as lavish as possible. I'm gonna make Navier regret everything by having the fanciest wedding ever, or whatever, and she's gonna see it with her own eyes. And he even realizes that he's being petty, but he's like, I'm still gonna do it though. Like, that's what you're gonna spend your empire's money on? That I know, like Navier, before she left money aside for orphanages and like the children and stuff like that and schools like that. And I've never seen him do anything like that throughout this whole webtoon. He's just like, make it as lavish as possible. She's not impressed by your money, honey. That's not what it is.
She literally could be another empress.
Like, he's so clueless to what she actually needed, and he just could never fulfill it because he's so egotistical. He couldn't even thinking of another person like that. Like, that's not even in his radar. It's just all about him, and that's so pathetic.
He's so selfish.
Like, she's here being so selfless for her people. She's like, I'm gonna leave, but I'm gonna make sure they're taken care of. And then here he is, like, bounce that out the window. I'm gonna take care of myself, not the people. And then it's just gonna be chaotic. And that's
I want to give you guys a spoiler so bad, but like I don't know if it's been mentioned some
after
or not yet.
Let us know.
But it's because of something B said. I'm like, wait, I want to tell you something, but maybe after.
So what is it that Rashta's doing at the end of the chapter? She's hanging out with her fake fam, and then
she is plotting to be the evil butthole she is.
I see. Her evil pregnant self right
there. Check it out.
That baby ain't his. I'm gonna say it right now. That ain't his baby.
Oh, okay, I'm so glad you say that.
Why do I feel like I don't think it's actually his baby either.
That ain't his.
Like it happened way too soon. I mean, maybe not, but I for some reason I don't think it's actually his baby. I feel like, she's gonna give birth to this child, and then he's gonna lose his mind and go ballistic, be like, I ruined my life for this. It's not even my kid.
Dude, I can see it.
And you know what? He would totally deserve that. I want that to happen.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
The timing was just like, yeah.
Imagine if it was just another baby with the other guy.
Okay, because the timing makes sense though if it was his. Because the way she bounced up in there and all of a sudden she's like, oh, I'm pregnant. I'm like, it wasn't even a month. How many was like 2 weeks?
Exactly. It hadn't even been that long. So why do I think it's the same guy? Alan, I think it was.
Yeah.
It's probably his baby. Probably another one of his babies.
That's what I'm thinking. But I think that, okay. So I have this theory that the wedding's gonna happen, and of course Alan's dad is gonna be there, and he's gonna bring Alan, and then there's gonna be the baby, and she's gonna have a moment where she actually sees her son. She's gonna be like, oh my gosh, and then things are gonna blow up in her face, and it's gonna destroy Silver Shoes' magic, lavish wedding.
Oh my goodness.
Theory.
I'm including this audio because Panda went into red status
I'm gonna cut that
territory when it comes to spoilers. I repeat, red status spoiler territory.
Okay.
We are going to mute this part for you. Oh my god, but yeah.
I swear, it's like what I told Notion a while
I
back.
should
It's
have read the
like,
novel.
it's like when Panda mentioned a long time ago, like when we read fast passes and stuff,
Notion.
like
Why talk about this
I
Notion?
know I
person
said
all the
Notion, I was
time?
like, it's Panda. I'll cut that. Like
Like,
Panda
girl,
has
There's so many
Notion?
cuts.
There's definitely not Notion in this.
there's cuts everywhere.
Don't cut it. Just leave it. Just leave it. Just leave it. It's beautiful.
So like
Definitely not Notion.
like Panda and I remember a long time ago we compared like when you read fast passes and you're already like maybe 4 or 5 chapters ahead, but Panda's here reading a web novel that's like who knows how many chapters ahead, and like you just feel like with wisdom and everyone else is
I
confused.
really am. Like, this season just started, right? I read this months ago. I'm not even caught up to the novel right now. I haven't read it in months, but I've already read all of this. Like, I know what's happening here and even further. And that was months ago. So if I go back to it right now, I'm probably going to learn so much. I just know too much. I just know too much right now. And you guys are giving me theories, and I also have my own theories that I had at the time while reading it. So I'm just talking about those without like saying anything about the future. I just really hope I can contain it within myself because I don't want to ruin anything. But I really want to ruin it all.
Well, now you have the body to imagine it with.
Listen, that body, I was already imagining it. But this exceeded my expectations.
I've actually never been attracted to abs.
Really.
My favorite attribute on a guy is having squishy hips, and I think that's why I love my my squishy husband.
I don't know. I don't know. I was like guys who are like, well, not really. I'm not like super into like abs or something, but I guess I am now. But
Girl, you no worries. I'm also right there. He looked gorgeous, just not my husband.
I like lean guys, even though I'm not the leanest person in the world. But anyways, lean guys, that's just like my thing. But recently, like, dude, there's people with these bods, bro. Heinrich out here with his abs. You know what? It's a Jungkook body. That's what it is.
I feel like the way they detailed and drew the entire scene of him, I mean, there's an attribute that everyone can appreciate. That's the thing. Like, there's something there everyone can appreciate.
His hair, his eyes,
Hair,
his
the
face,
eyes,
his
the glistening
body,
skin, like
the water.
The water.
on his
It looks like
hair.
fireworks in the background, honestly.
The artwork is just gorgeous.
That frame honestly reminds me of, obviously I got to bring my K-pop into this. There's this one picture of Jungkook on stage, and they're performing. Obviously, he's like kind of sweaty, but his hair looks immaculate. I think what performance was it? Maybe it was Pied Piper. I don't remember, or Dimple, something like that. Anyways, but he looks so good, and honestly, I feel like that's the exact like imaging if he was shirtless.
I kind of thought about Twilight because of the water dripping off of him, and it made me think of when Edward's sparkling in the forest.
That's like a great value version, but you know, I can see that too.
By all means, nowhere near as handsome, but it made me think of the sparkles.
You know, if you ever saw a live action of Heinrich, who would play this character? Because there's got to be someone that can like own it. Like,
Jungkook.
Chris Pratt.
Jungkook with blonde hair.
Chris Pratt. I can't think
Chris Pratt.
I can't think Chris Pratt. He's Mario now.
No, I'm thinking about Chris Pratt with his funny, sweet, like Star-Lord personality.
You're right. But let me show you this guy.
Blonde. Picture him
with
blonde
hair.
Yeah, okay.
Either him or him.
Okay.
I could see the second one more.
This one, right?
Yeah.
He could definitely be. Oh my god, he would be such a great Heinrich.
They're
hair,
the same
but
cheekbones.
blonde. Oh my god, bro.
Panda's gonna start
Panda-
foaming at the mouth. Just the thought of this.
Panda
It hasn't
is
even been
become
confirmed.
butter.
I think I'm drooling.
She's
guys
melted
don't need to-
butter.
Guys. Guys.
She's not gonna make it,
gonna
guys.
listen
We're
to
gonna.
this today. They're all gonna listen to this podcast today and they're gonna be like, dude, I don't think she's ever simped this hard in a podcast. They can probably hear me drooling right now.
They're probably drooling themselves if they're reading it.
You're not wrong. Also, you can't actually hear me drooling. I'm just having boba.
It's just there you go. You know, the thing is about our Remarried Empress, I think one of our first Remarried Empress discussions, Panda, was because you know, in the Q&A I kind of wanted to like tell everybody what the top episodes are, and one of our top ones, there's at least over 500 listens on it, is our first our first Remarried Empress discussion together.
Wow.
So there are people out there to relate with you.
Woo! I love that for us. I love that for me. That made me really happy. I am so glad you guys agree with me. Oh my god. Thank you.
I'm like thinking there's people out there who are listening to this, and I'm like, this episode in particular, I guess really, because I would see it every week. I'm like, what's going on with this episode? It's like hitting the ranks. And then I realized it's high up there, and I was like, oh shoot, that's a lot.
Because I was simping the whole time, probably.
Everyone can relate to the simp here, and I think that's very, very sweet and very wholesome.
Thank you. Thank you for agreeing with that, because I feel at home now. I mean, I've always felt at home with these two, but even more now with you guys as well.
Oh my gosh.
So thank you for listening to the podcast that many times and listening to me ramble about being a simp. Like, thank you.
You know, I feel like we touched on what we could this episode, because right now we are just trying to like wrangle in every opinion we got over this man and that man and and Rashta and Navier, and I'm looking forward to the next chapter because I did get a peek at it already and it's freaking cute, so I'm just gonna
Oh my gosh,
technically
what
I
the
have a
heck?
peek at
Am
all
I
the
the
next
only
chapters.
person in this group that doesn't fast pass stuff?
I have no patience. I
got
have
free
no
coins. I
self-control.
had to.
No self-control.
No.
Do you know who I am? I'm
It's-
Panda, the simp.
It's because I'm catching up on other ones.
Yeah.
It's
the
cool.
money. I have no money anymore. Really.
I have no money, but I have no self-control for like the 10th time.
Download Google Rewards. I'm telling you,
Oh,
just
yes.
save yourself.
You told me this. And I downloaded it and I used it once.
You should get another survey at some point. They come in on their own.
Okay.
Right at the moment, I'm up to like $28 on it.
Girl, let me do this. Let me do
I
this
have
right now.
$3. I'm proud of
Look
it.
at you! Yes!
Oh,
The grind.
But this chapter I really enjoyed it overall, though. From beginning to end, it was beautifully done. I maybe didn't enjoy the end as much because I had to look at Trash's face and Soyushu's face, but the first half, I definitely enjoyed. All the bright, bubbly happiness, and then darkness and fakeness at the end. It was good.
Just full on dumpster fires down here, but it's okay. We at least have Navier and Heinrich thriving in the series at the moment, so I'm happy.
Henvar.
Yes,
Henvar.
Henvar. Is that their ship name? Like, I need to confirm. We need to confirm this.
I have to look at the comments to
Do they
find
have
out.
a legit ship name?
I'm sure they do.
Wait, guys, I'm reading one of the comments and it says, LMAO, Sylvia shit. I love that. Sylvia shit should have thought about a wife being forever when you decided to blindside her and divorce her.
Yes.
You are not wrong.
Speak
You are
facts.
not wrong.
Facts.
So, you talking about the whole chapter, with all the emotions that we have, I think it shows how wonderful the author's doing, because we feel so many different things through their art for each character. Like, this is such a wonderful, put together, thought out story, and I'm loving it. this chapter it opened up a lot of ideas. It's showing that this story is going places, and I'm so happy with it.
I can so much agree with that sentiment. And I am so happy that we were able to talk about this chapter. And I hope we can do another one soon in the next time. And then
where I will threaten to spoil everything again.
Possibly more simping.
Possibly more, of course.
Definitely more simping. There's good. No. I just remembered a part.
Nope.
Oh my god. Okay. We're gonna roll out soon before Panda decides to spoil the whole series so far.
Autobots roll out.
No, my son's been watching Transformers lately, so that is in sync with my life at the moment. So.
Oh my gosh, yay! I'm a Decepticon, but it's cool.
I'm about to lose it all. I'm about to explode.
Okay, so we're gonna call off. Roll out, guys. All right, roll out, council.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. I'd like to take a moment to thank my wonderful co-hosts, Bee and Panda, for joining me on this discussion of the Remarried Empress. I will leave links to their social media in the description box below. Let me know your thoughts and opinions of what we discussed today in this episode by messaging me through either of my social media handles. Both my Twitter and Instagram handles are at the Toon Balloon. I would love to hear from you. Also, definitely tell me any other webtoons, anime, or manga you are interested in, and I may talk about them in future episodes. The Toon Balloon podcast can be listened to on SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, YouTube, and more. Now, let's end this episode of the podcast. Thank you so much for joining me today and taking the time to listen to my humble podcast. I look forward to talking with you again. This is the Toon Balloon podcast. I was your host, Gooby. See you next time.